The drought in Queensland has forced grain to be shipped in from across the country as a shortage begins to bite. Dry pastures mean livestock need other food supplies. So this week, a shipment worth more than $15 million arrived in Brisbane.
It's a commodity normally exported from Queensland, but as the drought takes hold, wheat is now arriving in Brisbane in very large quantities.
Much the same as the drought. This is a 1 in 10, 1 in 25, 1 in 100 year event. It's certainly not common, and unfortunately it doesn't look like stopping anytime in the near future.
This 30,000 tonne shipment arrived from Western Australia and is worth more than $15 million. The load is headed for the Darling Downs region, which has the largest concentration of feedlots in the country, with over 1 million head of cattle. Each beast roughly consumes 12 kilograms of feed each day, and there's just not enough local supply to meet demand.
It's important as water. It's got to the stage where stock literally don't have anything else to eat, and so if this grain doesn't come in, then they have no food source, and there's only unfortunately one outcome that comes along with it.
This year we've pretty well exhausted all of the supplies that are available locally. All of the silos on farm and even in the bulk handlers are getting pretty well cleaned out now.
Dalby grain grower Wayne Newton hasn't seen conditions like this in the 40 years he's been farming. He says some growers have been lucky enough to plant a few isolated crops due to storm activity in March and April when there was enough moisture. But Mr Newton wasn't one of them, and his season is considered a failure.
Some are claiming it's as bad as the Federation drought over 100 years ago.
He says importing grain from other parts of the country has been done before. There's been more than a dozen shipments already this year, and there'll be more to come.
If you actually look at the demand for grains here in southern Queensland, we need in the order of 25,000, maybe nearly 30,000 tonnes of grain a week.
A costly way to meet demand in desperate circumstances. Louisa, Rebgetz, ABC News.